Hi, I'm Abby Krisner from 105.9 The X here at Heinz Hall as we get ready to celebrate the next series of Fuse here at the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra. Now, Fuse, if you didn't catch it the last time, mashes a classical composer with a current contemporary artist. Last time around, and I loved it, it was Radiohead and Brahms' First Symphony. This time, it's Coldplay and Beethoven. I am here with conductor and creative director of Fuse, Steve Hackman, to talk about the show, and we're on your turf this time. Last time you came to my turf, now I'm in your house. And this is kind of like being in a church, like outside of ceremonies. Like, this is a very sacred place. Does it still hold that for you, or are you just kind of going to the office at this point?
No, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's actually really fun at night before a concert to come in here, and usually all the stands are set up like this, and all the chairs and the podium's up here, the ghost lights on, and I'll just kind of go through the motions and imagine what's going to happen the next day. I always enjoy it. So yeah, very sacred to me.
Now, with the production this time around with Beethoven and Coldplay, I understand that you have a deep connection to it. Let's start from the beginning of how this idea comes about, the inception of that idea. Is it something that comes to you in the shower, or is it something that you meticulously put together?
Well, this one's different from the Brahms Radiohead in that with the Brahms Radiohead, that was really my first large-scale mashup, and I knew I wanted to use Radiohead's music, and I knew I wanted to use Brahms because I loved both. I thought they could work together, and I just sort of endeavored to put them together. So with this second outing of Beethoven Coldplay, I took a lot more time to kind of select the artist and the composer. I put these two together because I thought Beethoven and Coldplay share a certain kind of universal feeling. You hear their music and you somehow think, this is just the way music is supposed to sound. So that's not necessarily going to mean that the music's going to fit together well, like the Brahms Radiohead did, but I thought the feeling was there, the emotion and the themes that they dealt with in the music, so that's why I chose them.
Now, to answer a rhetorical question that I saw in some of your YouTube videos, would Beethoven appreciate the music of Coldplay?
Well,
you have to speak for Beethoven now, I know it's a big deal.
Sure. Well, I think that, again, Coldplay deals with these universal themes just like Beethoven does in his music. They both confront them full on, very unabashedly. And I think that Beethoven would have appreciated the way Coldplay does that. Their music is quite simple, their melodies are beautiful, and they really just, I think, strike an emotional chord in their audience. And I know Beethoven was going for the same thing. So I know there are elements of Coldplay's music that Beethoven surely would have appreciated.
Now, do you have a favorite track or a song? I know it focuses on Coldplay's A Rush of Blood to the Head, so focusing, I guess, on that work, is there a particular song that locked in so well that maybe out of all of the tracks that worked with the Beethoven stuff, that's it?
Well, there are a lot of songs from A Rush of Blood to the Head. I did choose across their entire catalog.
I think that was smart, yeah. There's a lot of stuff to choose from.
Yeah, but the song The Scientist from that album, which has that incredible line, "Nobody said it was easy," is really, that ended up anchoring the piece for me. It opens the piece, really a few seconds after the orchestra starts, it all of a sudden cuts to the singers singing that line in three-part harmony. It's the emotional core of the piece in the second movement, the very solemn funeral march of the Beethoven, and then it closes the piece at the end in kind of a celebratory manner. So I use that as the anchor, so that is definitely the most important song, I would say, used.
I actually, listening to the clips on YouTube, noticed what some of the words were for these Coldplay songs that I actually never knew what the words were. Chris Martin doesn't have quite the diction that your singers do. Right. Can we talk about those singers? Because they were in the Radiohead production. Are these people that you're bringing in because they're phenomenal?
Oh, well, thanks. They are phenomenal. I'm so lucky. One singer is the same on the Brahms Radiohead. Bill Prokopo's coming back in, and then two different singers, both from California, LA and San Francisco, Ben Jones and Malia Sivitz. They're unbelievable. I mean, Malia is still a student at USC.
Oh, really?
I found her, because she was a highlight in the national a cappella competition. Just an unbelievable singer. Ben has been in the group Chanticleer. So, I'm glad you brought them up, because to sing this kind of piece, they need a certain combination of, artistic sensibilities. They need classical training because they have to be able to handle this music that is really kind of Beethoven-esque. And then they need to be able to harmonize with each other, but also they need a pop sensibility, because if you hear somebody without a pop style singing a Coldplay song, it might not work. So it's been a big selection process, and I'm so happy with them.
So are you kind of the rock star of the symphony here? I mean, if you think about it, I would think that a lot of classical music fans might be very traditional. And what you're doing here shakes it up a bit. It probably gets a lot of young people invested into checking out the symphony. But do you think that you can get those traditionalists to come over to your direction as well?
Well, I hope so. I think, the audience, certainly we see a lot of new faces, and we need that. That's really the purpose. I mean, I want to introduce this incredible symphony orchestra to a whole new audience. But there's a great cross-section there of, I think, traditional audience members. I mean, this orchestra is made up of rock stars, honestly. Like, I'm looking at the timpani here, and I'm thinking of Ed Stephan, the principal timpani player. I mean, he's a rock star. There's every one of these players are rock stars, but it's a matter of showing more people that, using music that they're already familiar with as kind of the conduit to get there.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing this. Again, I loved the first one. I'm in for the second one, and you can join us October the 6th here at Heinz Hall. Cocktail hour starts at 5:30. I will be your host for that, and the music starts at 6:30. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you so much.